What's up, fight fans? My name is Anik from Pandemic MMA, and I am here to break down what's at stake at the UFC Houston main event. Number 3 ranked former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland against a big time contender, number 4 ranked Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. There is so much at stake at the middleweight division this week, and let's get into it. Now, the fight itself. Sean Strickland, some of the best cardio in the division. He loves to keep the fight standing, even though he's got very underrated wrestling. Sean Strickland likes to pepper the jab. Doesn't throw knockout punches, but he will bloody your face up real fast, and he has real good defense on the feet. On the other hand, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, he wants to drown you. He's going to come spamming takedowns, trying to outdog Sean Strickland, really two of the toughest guys in the division. Neither of them quit. Remember, Sean Strickland, he took a beating from Dricus du Plessis in his last fight, and he did not quit. He almost beat the former middleweight champ DDP in their first title fight together. Sean Strickland is the best at the basics. He doesn't get hit. He peppers a jab. He has a good teep kick to keep the distance. I wonder how much he will throw that teep kick with the takedown threat of Fluffy Hernandez. Now, DDP got Strickland down a lot in their first fight, and that played a big role in helping convince the judges that he won 3 rounds to 2. It was a close fight, but let's see what happens. Now, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, his striking, most including myself, I don't consider it the best in the division, but he's tough. He can take a punch and he can drown you. That smothering grappling, if he gets Strickland down early for a couple rounds, he could have the fight won on the scorecards already. And he'd really have Sean Strickland taking risks, but more risks that Strickland takes, that's going to open him up to get taken down. I'm really intrigued to see whether Fluffy's drowning grappling or Strickland's relentless striking will win this fight. There is so much at stake. Now, I'm not a fight analysis expert, but I can definitely tell you a lot about what's going to happen on Media Week because I've been there a lot. Now, there are a lot of title implications on this fight. Now, Nasruddin Imavov, everybody believes he deserves the next title shot in middleweight. He's beaten so many great guys, 5 or 6 top 10 wins in a row, including a knockout win over Israel Adesanya, one of the greatest middleweights of all time. He was supposed to fight for the title, and online says he still is, just waiting on Khamzat to be healed up and for the UFC to match them up. However, Sean Strickland has a win over Imavov, and he has some real beef with Khamzat. They've trained together in the past. They both talk a lot on Twitter. And Strickland has beaten Imavov on 3 days' notice. Now, Sean Strickland, if he goes and puts on a beating on Fluffy Hernandez, perhaps gets a finish or puts on a masterclass, could he keep Imavov in line to get the title shot? Now, based on merit and activity, Imavov deserves it. I think everybody agrees with that. However, if Strickland wins in dominant fashion, could the beef between him and Khamzat be settled in the cage for the middleweight title next? Strickland's a fan favorite. He's got a lot of love, he's got a lot of hate, but he sells tickets. That's the truth. If Anthony Fluffy Hernandez dominates Sean Strickland, could he be next in line for the title? Now, he did pull out of that fight with Yadier de Ritter because he was injured. Hope he's all good now. But with Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, he's a really dangerous matchup for Khamzat. He's got the cardio, he's got the grappling. Could he hang on the feet? People might think Fluffy is a tougher overall fight for Khamzat, even though Imavov has a better chance of the knockout. It's really intriguing. Either way, Fluffy and Strickland, they need to win in dominant and exciting fashion to have a chance at overlapping Imavov for a title shot. So let's see what happens. If not, if the winner does not get a title shot, could the winner fight the winner of a Dricus du Plessis Brendan Allen grudge match? There's rumors about that fight, nothing confirmed yet, but the winner against DDP Allen could be fun for the true number one contender. Or if Khamzat moves up because he really wants to fight Alex Pereira, then could the winner of Strickland and Fluffy go fight Imavov for a vacant title? There is a lot on the line here. And let me go through each scenario of this middleweight title picture. Number one, this fight is boring, and the UFC sticks with what everybody thinks is next. Hamzat versus Imavov. Number two, Strickland wins in dominant fashion. Strickland leapfrogs Imavov, and then it's Strickland against Hamzat. Number three, which is highly unlikely, Fluffy wins by domination, and he gets to leapfrog Imavov, and then it's Fluffy versus Hamzat. Or number four, which I think has a legitimate chance, Hamzat vacates, tries to fight Alex Pereira. We got the winner of Strickland and Fluffy against Imavov for the vacant title. That could be a really fun fight. Now, Sean Strickland, he's 35. He's already won he's a former champion. However, with Strickland, could Strickland be demotivated if he loses this fight? Will he stay and fight for money for the next couple years? He's a fan favorite. He's got a really inspiring story. People love him. Some people. Let's see what happens. Another thing that I'm really intrigued about is media day for this UFC Houston. Who will curse more at UFC Houston media day? Sean Strickland or Anthony Fluffy Hernandez? Think twice. Sean Strickland, he will rant about anything and everything, and a curse word is guaranteed per sentence for him. But Anthony Hernandez doesn't give an F. He will curse so many times too, saying, F it, I don't care. I don't give an F. I just want to get paid and fight. I'm excited to see what this media week looks like. Of course, it's going to be controversial, but tell me in the comments below who curses more, Sean Strickland or Anthony Fluffy Hernandez? That is a harder question than you think. Also on the card, we've got a co-main event of a Texas favorite, Geoff Neal against Uros Medic. Now, this was a somewhat short notice fight. Can Geoff Neal get down to 170 pounds? I would not be surprised if this fight is fought at a catch weight because Geoff Neal cuts a ton of weight. He weighs 200 pounds on fight night, so I'm intrigued to see what happens. Melquizael Costa, 4 wins last year. He's going to be fighting the number one gatekeeper of the featherweights, and I say that with a ton of respect. Dan Ige has lost close fights to so many people in the division. He could easily be champ had a couple of these fights went his way. He's lost close fights to Diego Lopez, Lerone Murphy. The only person that dominated Dan Ige is Movsar Evloev. So let's see. Does Melky Costa get into the rankings? Finally knock Dan Ige out of the rankings? Or does Dan Ige remind us, y'all must have forgot, I'm still a contender? That fight should be a banger. Michel Pereira, he's lost 3 fights in a row. He has not been looking good. Will he bounce back? Will the UFC keep him? He might be fighting for his contract here, so let's see what happens. What about Carli Judice, Louisiana's own? She won by knockout on Dustin Poirier's retirement fight card. She's fighting Juliana Miller, former The Ultimate Fighter champion. If Carli Judice wins, expect a big fight for her in the future. Jordan Leavitt moving down to featherweight against Yadier Del Valle. Yadier seems like a killer. He's been winning by first round finish, but can he beat somebody like Jordan Leavitt, who's battle tested, who took Paddy Pimblett down, even though he lost that fight? There's a lot of underrated matchups. For a true fan would appreciate this UFC Houston card. Not the casual one, but tune in for violence. Let me know what you think of the predictions below. Let me know, do you want a breakdown for UFC Mexico City? You tell me what you want. You tell me what you want, and I will deliver. Like, subscribe, follow me at pandemic_MMA on Instagram and YouTube, Pandemic MMA on Twitter. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the fights.